Social media can be a wonderful way to get your writing in front of your target market. The problem with social media is it can also be a trap too. Many authors find themselves dealing with multiple different social media platforms, and ultimately they don't do anything right, and therefore they get nothing out of it. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you the most popular and effective social media platforms for authors right now, and show you some of the key things that you should be doing so as to get more out of your social media. If you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and click the subscribe button over to the right, as well as the little bell icon, so that you'll get notifications when my next video comes out. And with that, let's begin. If at any time you want to learn anything more about each one of these social media platforms, be sure to check the description below where you can see a full article of mine about each one, where I not only provide extra examples of authors doing it right, but also some extra resources to help you learn more about each. The first one is Facebook. Now, this is the largest of all the social media platforms, and no matter what you write or what niche you're in, you will definitely have your target market there. However, if you're looking to use Facebook as your social media platform to push your writing, you might want to look at whether or not you should use your personal profile, a professional page, or a group. Now, we're not going to go into the details of each one, however, though they each have their pros and cons. I personally have my personal profile, which I enjoy sharing with friends and family, but I separate my business by having the Kindlepreneur page. A group is a great way to increase engagement, but it is a lot of time. So be sure to do some extra research to figure out which one's best for you. Here's a couple of examples of authors who are using Facebook to improve their engagement as well as their branding. The first one is Neil Gaiman, who of course is a very famous author, but instead of just talking about his books, he also talks about his interests and really does a great job of branding himself as a person. Another is Lit RPG Books. This group was created by a certain author who is basically bringing in reader fans of Lit RPG as well as other authors. This creates a great opportunity to not only increase networking engagements with other Lit RPG authors, but also find fans of your upcoming books or previous ones. Our next social media platform is Twitter. Twitter can be a great platform, but it can also be a great waste of time if you're not using it right. If you're tweeting, make sure to use the right hashtags. Now, in that article in the description below, I have a link to an article that has all of the different hashtags that authors should think about using when you do your next tweet. This will get it in front of the right people and get more engagement. Another great use of Twitter isn't just sending out tweets or tweeting or whatever the different verbs are for it, but is also finding engagement. That's when you do Twitter searches for people who are talking about certain subjects, whether it's your genre or your nonfiction subject, whatever it be, find those people and engage with them. Comment, like, share. Build a rapport as somebody who actually cares and really wants to build a connection. This is the most effective use of Twitter. Here are a couple of examples of authors doing this correctly. J.K. Rowling is the queen of Twitter. She's got the most witty, burn-centric tweets ever. And if you haven't read them, let me tell you, they're a lot of fun. And if you have, you know what I mean by the word burn. Another author is Rick Riordan, who takes delight in self-deprecating humor and what's new in science and tech. This helps to kind of build or show his interests and brings in people who are also interested in those things, which tends to also be his type of book fan. Our next social media platform is Instagram. Instagram is one of the hottest and growing social media platforms. However, though, it's sort of a lifestyle social media platform. The people who are really doing a good job of this are showing their life in action with pictures and quotes and things like that. So how does one use books and book sales in Instagram? Well, here are a couple of examples of authors doing just that. Our first is R.M. Drake, a poet who actually creates beautiful pictures and puts pieces of his poetry inside of them. That way, when people are looking on his Instagram, they get motivated and they see his writing and they start to really attach to what he's doing. The next author is John Krakauer. An investigative adventure writer focuses his Instagram on his crazy cool life and the behind the scenes in his adventures, which is kind of cool to follow. Our next social media platform is one that many people don't actually consider a social media platform, and that's Goodreads. Goodreads is owned by Amazon, and it's a place where people can come to find their next books, to tell their friends about what they're reading, and even track how far they are in their reading as well. Kind of sounds like a perfect place to establish some communications if you're a writer, right? One thing that an author should definitely do is make sure that their books are listed in Goodreads. Go ahead and add it and add the necessary information so that it is best represented in case anybody is reading and talking about your book. Here's a couple of examples of authors who not only have great Goodreads pages and have their books well represented, but also go the extra step to engage with readers on Goodreads. The first is Khaled Hosseini, who's the writer of Kite Runner. He not only has a great page, but he actually goes and answers frequently asked questions and gets huge engagements, like hundreds of people liking and commenting and following his stuff. James Patterson is also a favorite of Goodreads. He not only goes in there and lists what books he's reading, but he actually makes it a point to pick up self-published books and read them and comment and give love. Not gonna lie, as a self-publisher, I appreciate that. Thank you. And finally, our last but not least is Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is sort of the most unsocial social media platform there is, because with it, you create a board and it gets engaged. You don't have to go and do one-to-one connections like Twitter or putting your public stuff out there. You create picture boards and you post them and they get pinned. Get it? Pinterest. But with that, creating good pictures is kind of a must. So how does one create boards that not only bring in the right crowd, but also convince people to buy your book? Well, here are a couple of examples of authors doing just that. Jody Headland does a great job of creating great boards for each and every one of her books. You can see her style as well as some of the ways she kind of works it in, and also check out those numbers. It's pretty cool. Katie Ganser goes a step further and she actually creates a board that shows her short stories. This is an opportunity for people to get quickly hooked to her style of writing, fall in love with what she does, and then check out the books that she writes so that they can see even more. So with that, we covered some of the major social media platforms out there. I didn't cover all of them, but these are some of the big ones that we're able to not only dig in deep and learn how to do it right, but see the great examples that exist. Now, one thing I highly recommend, and this is my own personal belief on social media, is I tell authors all the time they should only just choose one. I know you've probably heard a lot of people say, be everywhere, but who's got time for that? We have to write our books. What I think is best is that you choose one social media platform and you make that your thing. You study it, you learn, you gain experience, and you will find that your results will be better than if you dabble in all 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20,000 different social media platforms out there. Okay, there aren't like 20,000, but probably close. So don't get stuck trying to update 6 or 7 platforms. Choose one, do it right, and you'll see better return. And remember, once you've chosen that one, or whichever ones you want to learn more about, be sure to check the description below, click the link to the article I have so that you can not only get more details on each, but find better resources that help to improve you and take you to that next level. And with that, I'm Dave Chesson of Kindlepreneur.com, signing off. Cheers.